All right. So I welcome you all to today's session. We thank God that we are able to meet again for yet another week for these live sessions. So I hope that you had a good week and I hope that you are all in good health. So today I want us to talk about some reasons why you would still have high blood sugar readings despite doing all the right things. You know, you are fasting, you're taking your medications, you are eating properly the way you are supposed to eat. You're not doing anything out of the ordinary that should raise your blood sugar. Okay. So why is it that when we are doing all the right things, we still have these high sugar readings? So before I begin, I want to just remind us that I would never call you to inform you about my sessions. Okay. I would simply let you know about it on the groups. Okay. I don't need to call you to let you know about my live sessions. Okay. So please let's bear that in mind and don't read out any codes to anyone who may reach out to you or tell you that they are working with me or anything of the sorts. Okay. All right. So please let's be protected. Turn on your two-step verification on WhatsApp also, so that no one would be able to hack into your WhatsApp accounts. Okay. All right. Now, as you begin eating properly, especially as someone who is diabetic and, you are struggling, you are trying to do things right, you are trying to make progress, you want to get off your medications. You would realize that at some parts of your day, your blood sugar rises, or when you do certain things, your blood sugar rises, and you are worried that this may be a problem for you. Okay. Now, this session is for those who are struggling, those who panic over their blood sugar readings, especially when you are making changes. Okay. Now, the first thing I want to point out is that not all high blood sugar readings are dangerous. It's not every time you have a spike in your blood sugar reading that is dangerous to your health. Okay. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that high blood sugar is now a good thing. Okay. But it's not every time that you have a high reading or you have a spike in your readings that something is wrong with you, or that, you are going to suffer the consequences of a high blood sugar. Blood sugar spikes of two types. Okay. We have pathological blood sugars. This is a kind of spike you get when you eat things that would ordinarily raise your blood sugar. Okay, so I'm talking like carbs, grains, processed food, sugar, etc. Okay, now there are other things that can cause you to also have a high blood sugar. And we call this physiological. Physiological meaning that they don't cause any danger to your health. Pathological, the one that you eat or the kind of blood sugar you get that comes from you doing the wrong things, that's actually dangerous to your health, okay? It can damage your organs, damage your tissues, damage your cells, okay? It's very, very dangerous to your health. But then there are also normal circumstances that if they cause you to have that spike in blood sugar, it wouldn't do anything to your tissues and your organs and your cells, okay? It's not pathological. All right, so let us keep this in mind that it's not every time that you have a spike, because we look at it as, oh, when my blood sugar rises is not a good thing, right? And rightfully so. Rightfully so. High blood sugar is not something that should be overlooked. Okay, but it's not every time you have that spike that's every time you have a high blood sugar reading doesn't indicate that, something is going wrong inside of you. Okay, because you can still do everything right. You can do everything right and you still have a rise in blood sugar. Okay, now another thing I want us to note before we get into the session properly is that you should not compare your results with anyone. Okay, most people are on a different journey when it comes to diabetes. Okay, two people can eat the same things, fast for the same periods of time, sleep at the same time, do everything the same. And one person has a normal blood sugar reading, normal A1C, and when they eat or perform certain things, it will just raise their blood sugar by like 3 to 10 points. But to you, it's a whole different story. Okay, so people are different. Your metabolism is different. your journey also is different, okay? So especially when you have these reviews, okay, that somebody has changes or somebody, did well with a program or a diet, okay, and you went through the exact same thing, but you don't have the same results as them, it doesn't mean that you are doing anything wrong or that there's anything wrong with you, okay? So please, let's not compare our results to people. And some people have really, really taken care of their health in the past, okay? Some people have done more work before whatever program or diet they have been, they are currently undergoing, okay? While other people, it's just their first time. Age too can also play a role. Some people just have more knowledge and more experience. Some people know their body so well that they can even feel it when their blood sugar is rising, okay? Or when they have high blood sugar, they would know. They don't have to check, using a glucometer. They would just know that their blood sugar is high, okay? So please, let's not compare our results with other people, okay? Because you really don't know the backstory. So focus on yourself and your results. And also don't worry about the time frame, okay? You can say, oh, this person just took her 30 days to bring down her blood sugar readings. But me, I've been on this for like 6 months to a year now. I still have no results. Don't worry about the time frame, okay? I'm saying this because it really, really takes your body time to get rid of things, especially when you are dealing with metabolic diseases like hypertension and diabetes. It's not something that goes away in a flash, especially if you are looking for long-lasting results. If you just want to bring down your blood pressure and bring down your blood sugar, you can do it in a day. You can do it in 3 days, okay? You can't, or you can just take medications and it will calm down if that's what you are looking for, just to see that your results are low or that your readings are low, okay? But if you are looking in the long term, if you are actually looking to cure yourself, then it's going to take much longer than you expect it to, okay? So just enjoy the process and think of it now as a new way of life, because when you go back to those old habits that you are trying to run away from or that caused you harm in the past, then you best believe that you are going to end up being hypertensive or diabetic, okay? So let us go into the session proper. The first thing that will cause you to have a spike in blood sugar that is not dangerous to your health, okay, is inflammation. All right. Now, like I've said, people have been diabetic for so many years. And when you begin to make these changes, it's going to take you time. Okay. It can even take you as long as 2 years, to really, really cure yourself of diabetes. Okay. I'm just realizing I made a mistake in my slides. Okay. But this is going to be this is supposed to be metabolism. Okay. So your metabolism differs. Okay. It can take you so much longer. And when it comes to things like inflammation also, you have to realize that it is kind of an internal problem and not just something that, you just see from your readings. What I'm trying to say is that your readings don't always tell you how you are doing metabolically, because anything can raise and bring down your blood sugar, okay? Your readings do not tell you whether you are out of diabetes or not. They simply tell you what your readings are at the moment, the amount of sugar roaming around in your blood. Is not the marker for knowing whether you are out of the diabetic state or not. Okay, so that inflammation that actually caused you to be a diabetic patient would take much longer for you to get rid of. Okay, now the second thing is an infection. If you just have a common cold or fever or a bacterial infection, or even if it's just a pimple that is growing, hormonal imbalances for women, okay, whatever it is, any infection or anything that upsets your homeostasis, anything that puts you off is likely to raise your blood sugar. And when it does, it doesn't mean that that spike in blood sugar is now a bad thing. It just means that your body needs extra glucose to give to your red blood cells and your white blood cells so that they can do and perform their healing, okay? Because if you have an infection, whatever infection it may be, down to just boil or pimple, okay? Whatever infection it is, you can eat the same food. You would eat a cucumber and after eating cucumber, it will raise your blood sugar, and you are wondering, is it not the same cucumber that I've been eating all this while that doesn't cause a spike in my blood sugar? Okay, so something as little as an infection is likely to raise your blood sugar. Okay, now the next thing is mental stress. Your job, the economy, fuel price, traffic, anything that causes you mental stress. You and your wife or you and your husband are quarreling, you and your children are not in good terms, whatever it is, it can take a toll on your blood sugar, because when you are stressed out, it manifests in the physical. Okay, it's just like when somebody is going through a heartbreak, okay, or a divorce, it actually manifests in the physical. You can actually feel, your heart beating, okay, or you will just feel that something is wrong with you. It's either you are weak or you are tired or you've even lost appetite. So whatever it is that is happening around you is very, very likely to raise your blood sugar, because your cortisol rises, your adrenaline rises, your epinephrine rises. Your body just puts you in a position where you would have to either fight or flight. Okay, so when you are mentally stressed out, you need that extra glucose running around your system. Okay, and at that point, when you take your readings, you are wondering, is it not the same foods that I've been eating, the same fast I've been doing? Why is it that my blood sugar is rising? It's because you are stressed out. Okay, another thing is not having enough sleep. Okay, and sleep can raise your blood sugar to the point, not just in that specific day, but then over a period of days. Okay, so if you are stressed out, your job is so stressful, you come back at midnight, you are up again at 4:30 continuously, your spouse is always snoring, you are not able to just sleep well at night, there is no proper ventilation, you're always sweating, whatever it is that will cause you not to have a good night's sleep can raise your blood sugar, not just for that day, but then over a period of days, until you are then able to regulate your sleep. All right. Another thing is the dawn phenomenon. Now, this dawn phenomenon, this issue of I always have higher readings in the morning, and then as I go about my day, my readings would then get lower. This happens to everybody. Okay, whether you are diabetic or you're not diabetic, it even happens to, in fact, it happens to every single mammal. Your dogs, cats, as long as that animal, okay, is a mammal. Human beings are animals. Okay, as long as you are a mammal, you have this dawn phenomenon where your body just raises its blood sugar to help you wake up and start and go about your day. Certain hormones are released at the morning time to ensure that you are alive and that you are active and that you are able to get out of the bed. Okay, so this happens to everyone, and it's not something that indicates that you are not doing a good job with your health, because I get a lot of this complaint of higher blood sugars in the morning, but then when you go about your day, when you eat, you just realize that your blood sugar just fixes itself. Okay, it just fixes itself. So it's not something that you should be worried about. It is very, very normal. Even people who are not diabetic have a spike in their readings when they wake up in the morning. Okay, and it is even more common with people who eat well. People, whether you are going on a carnivore diet or a keto diet or whatever diet it is, or you're going on a detox, it's even more common with those people who are even trying to do the best they can, because at that time you are metabolically unwell. Okay, your body hasn't really gotten you out of that diabetic state. Okay, so when it notices that things are not how they used to be before, okay, your body can try to get you back in homeostasis. Okay, so this dawn phenomenon, this issue of, oh, I have higher readings in the morning, it gives me a headache, I don't know what to do not let it bother you, because even people who are not diabetic have it. If you have a dog in your house, that dog also experiences this dawn phenomenon. Okay, now it's a problem, because most people see it as, oh, I have readings that are so high in the morning, and then it makes me feel like I am not doing a good job with my diabetes. So what I would advise you to do is to take a HbA1c test. That test would monitor your blood glucose over a period of 3 to 6 months, right? That test is a better indicator of whether you're actually doing a good job or not, and not from your your daily glucometer daily readings. Okay. By the time you take that HbA1c test, you actually see that, okay, over the past few months, I've actually been doing well. My body is actually recovering. My blood sugar has been stable. Okay. And it's a much better marker to know where you are at metabolically and in terms of diabetes than, you just taking that reading first thing when you wake up in the morning or 1 hour into, your day, and you see that your readings are above 200. Okay. All right. Another thing is coffee and sugar substitutes. Okay. Now, some people, not everybody, if you're a coffee drinker, you may notice that when you are trying to, fix your health or get back on track, that you would have these spikes when you consume coffee or sugar substitutes. Okay. It's not entirely bad. Okay. Neither is it pathological. If you are taking a sugar substitute, I would actually advise that you stop taking that sugar substitute. But coffee is not really pathological. Okay, this is a physiological blood sugar spike, meaning that it doesn't hurt you. That spike in your blood sugar is not going to glycate your muscles and your cells and your tissues and your organs and bring about all those complications that we know with high blood sugar. Okay, that's what I mean by physiological rise in your blood sugar. Okay, so this doesn't happen to everyone, but I would just advise that you are on the lookout so that you can just know what triggers you. Okay, so coffee can raise your blood sugar, but it's not pathological. And if you are taking a sugar substitute, I'd recommend that you just stop taking that sugar substitute. Okay. Now we have mineral deficiencies. If you are wondering why you are eating, low carbohydrate foods and you are on a carnivore diet and you are eating lots of protein and you are eating high fat and still you are fasting, you are doing everything you can, but you can't get your blood sugar down, please go and check your magnesium and your chromium, because lack of minerals can actually cause you to have a higher blood sugar than other people. This is one of the things. So when you want to compare yourself with somebody who is on the same program as you or as somebody that started with you, ask yourself whether your magnesium and your chromium level with that person is the same thing. Okay. So the most important thing is to take your multivitamins. Okay. Take your minerals. Mineral deficiencies automatically puts you at a risk of having a higher blood sugar than other people. Okay. Now, the other thing is exercise. When you exercise and you see the spike in your blood sugar, it is not pathological as well. Okay, this is a physiological response. Your body is just releasing glucose, releasing that extra oxygen because you need it at that point in time. If not, you wouldn't be able to exercise. Okay, so mineral deficiencies can cause you to have higher readings. Exercise also can cause you to have higher readings. Okay, now the other thing is fasting. Now, when people fast for over a long period of time, if you're able to do prolonged fasts, okay, not just the fast that you do in a day, but fast that, 24-hour fast, 48, 36-hour fasts, you may notice that when you are fasting, your blood sugar may rise. And you are asking yourself, I thought they said that fasting is one of the ways to bring down my blood sugar. How come I am fasting now and my blood sugar is rising? This, again, is not pathological in any way. It is not harmful to your health. It's not harmful to your health, okay? Because as you are fasting and abstaining from food, you have to move, right? So your body at that time would release some of its stored glucose, okay? Release it and push it out to the blood so that you can actually be able to move around and you won't faint and pass out, okay? So when you are fasting and you notice that, oh, my blood sugar is rising, it is not something that is dangerous to your health or that you start being worried about, okay? And this would actually even help you detox faster, because when you are able to clean out your system, when you're able to get out even the stored glucose that, you have, because diabetes really is just that your body has stored way, way, way too much carbohydrates. Okay, so when you're able to clean out your system, it's actually very, very good for you. Okay, and this is one of the reasons why people, when you are doing the right things, it just seems like, that's when your blood sugar just wants to show itself. At that point in time, you are getting rid of, all of the stored glucose that you have been accumulating over the years that's made your body unable to process and digest carbohydrates. Okay, so high sugar readings when you are doing the right things, when you know within yourself that you are doing exactly what you are supposed to do, it is not always wrong, and you shouldn't always be worried about it. Okay. Now, another thing that will cause you to have a blood sugar spike is medications. Okay. Even if your diet is perfection, even if you have the perfect diet in this world, you have the perfect dietitian. In fact, they bring your food to your house every morning, afternoon, and night, and you are on one medication or the other. Just expect automatically that your blood sugar readings are going to be higher. Okay. Now, these medications of any kind is not specific to any kind of medication. All medications can raise your blood sugar. Okay, except of course those that are actually targeted to bring down your blood sugar. Okay, which are your anti-diabetic medications. But aside that, if you are taking one form of medication or the other, expect higher readings. Okay, when you stop those medications, your readings will come down. You know these things. Even when you are sick or you have malaria or typhoid or whatever it is, you just notice that you have higher readings than normal or than usual. Okay, so when you stop those medications, you realize that your body just adjusts itself in time. Okay. Now, I also have this review here that I got this week. I received this review from one of my detox clients this week, and I was very, very happy when I read it. So she said, "Hello, Rita. I want to thank you especially for your assistance with my health. I just had my HbA1c test and my score is 6.4. Before joining your detox in July, you must recall that I had readings as high as 9. I am so happy and so grateful for your guidance. May God bless the work of your hands. Have a good day." Okay, so I just wanted to share this with you. I got this in my mailbox this week. And please remember that your diabetes detox is still available at 10,000 Naira only. Okay, and with this, we have come to the end of today's session. So please ask me any questions that you may have. Okay, and if there are no questions, we are done. And I hope that after listening to this class today, you can have peace of mind. Okay, and know that when you have these high readings from time to time, it doesn't necessarily mean that there is something wrong with your diet or that there is something you are not doing right. Okay, as long as you are doing the right things, just remember, oh, maybe this spike is as a result of my sleep, or oh, maybe this spike is as a result of this medication, or I am under stress, or it's just my metabolism, or is this pimple on my forehead, okay, or this boil in my armpits that I have not yet treated. Many, many different things can cause you to have a spike in blood sugar. And when you see that spike, okay, when you see it, don't freak out, because 9 times out of 10, it is not the kind of spike that would cause drastic effects on your body system, or, give you, that will cause, the consequences of just regular high blood sugar. Okay, it is not always pathological. Okay, so I hope that this really, really puts your mind at peace for some of you. Okay, especially when you are doing the right things, just keep doing what you are doing. Okay, in time, your blood sugar will just adjust itself. Okay, you will get a hang of it eventually. All right, so we are done with today's session. Any questions? Questions, comments, feedback? And if there are none, you are free to go. Thank you for joining me live. Any questions? And if there are none, you are free to go. Okay, thank you. So I would wait 5 minutes to see if anyone has any questions. And if not, I would end the session. Okay. questions, comments, feedback? And if there are none, you are free to go, okay? I would wait 3 more minutes, okay? For any questions, comments, or feedback. And if not, you are free to go. Thank you so much for joining me live. I appreciate your time whenever I put up these live sessions. Thank you for being a part of my audience, okay? All right. Questions, comments, feedback, anything at all that you want me to know, please just kindly put it in the chat, okay? And if you do not have anything at all to say, then you are free to go, okay? Thank you for joining me live. So I would wait 2 more minutes to see if any questions coming, okay? And if not, you are free to go. Thank you. Okay, Vicky says, I see how lack of sleep affects my readings. Okay. Well, now that you know, at least you wouldn't be so worried about it all the time. So I'm glad that this was at least able to help you see that lack of sleep is one of those reasons you can have a higher reading. Okay. All right. So thank you. Thank you for this feedback. Anything else? And if there are none, you are free to go. Thank you so much for coming and joining me live. I appreciate your time. Okay. You're welcome, ma'am. Okay, so it is 7:35. I will be ending the session now. If you are just coming, don't worry. I will put out the replay. Okay, you would have your replay by 8 o'clock. All right, so thank you so much for coming. I hope that this was valuable to you. And I'll see you again next week by the special grace of God. Okay, so bye. Take care.